What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to another episode of the Dossier, the Marvel Crisis Protocol show, where we talk about all the characters in Marvel Crisis Protocol, how we like their model, what we think of their cards, and what they kind of bring to the game in our general opinions. So just remember that all these are just our general opinions. They are our potato takes, not necessarily the right or wrong ones, but we definitely give them in the hopes that you will like to get engaged in the conversation below, or maybe just get a feel for what the character might have to offer. Continuing on with our Earth's Mightiest core set discussion, we are nearing the end of this one. We have Red Skull, Master of the World, as our topic of discussion for today. And remember, if you guys want to see these videos keep coming at you and more battle reports, check out patreon.com/AegisBrandStudios. You can support the channel for $1 a month, and it keeps all the content coming. And thank you very much for all that. But anyway, so we have Red Skull, Master of the World, to look at today. And I'm going to be right up front with him. I think his pose is actually quite boring. I don't think there's really a whole lot to him. It's very Red Skull. I'll definitely give him that. It's a very Red Skull pose. He's holding up the cube in defiance. He's just, won a victory type thing. But it's kind of a dull pose. I think with all the things that they might have been able to do with him, they might have been able to play a little bit more interesting stuff with them. The black on black with the reds, the cube and the red being the only parts that really kind of like pick up on the model itself. So yeah, now having said that, very easy to assemble. No real difficulties at all with it. And at least he's a little bit more dynamic than the original Red Skull, which had that very static standing pose holding the cube out in front of him. At least this one looks like he's sort of like posed in a sort of victory pose for it. We do still have the tactical rock of sorts in there with the briefcase in this one. At least it's a briefcase and not just another boring rock, but just ways of getting the model a little bit more dynamic. But yeah, so that is Red Skull, Master of the World. So what's his card bring to the table? Well, if we take a look at it right off the bat, 4-3-3 is his defensive stat line. He's got 6 stamina, 4 threat, size 2, medium move. Pretty standard set of defenses for a 4 threat character there. No real comments on that one. We have a Cosmic Burst as his builder attack. It's a range 4 energy attack, 5 dice. He does get to choose if it's energy or mystic. This is actually a nice touch. Having the ability to throw mystic out there is never to be understated. I really like it. It is your typical builder attack, and it has a wild shock applying if you get that wild trigger off. So all things considered, I mean, it's a fine builder. I like getting shock off on things, especially at range 4. Being able to choose the energy or the mystic, really solid. We have Reality Bows to Me as a mystic attack, range 4, 7 dice, with 4 power. It has a crit, wild, and hit trigger for Reality Rupture. Now this one's kind of wild. After this attack is resolved, the character may make an additional Reality Bows to Me attack without paying the power cost. The additional attack must target a character within 2 of the original target that has not been targeted Reality Bows to Me this round. You'll notice that this is not one of those attacks where the trigger goes away on its second attack. If you keep hitting that trigger, you will get as many of these attacks in as you can legitimately get, like as long as they haven't already been targeted by that particular attack. So on a particularly bunched up mission, you can get these off like 2, 3, 4 times if you're lucky. And 7 dice mystic attacks are nothing to scoff at. It's kind of wild. My first read through of it, I missed the fact that you could just keep triggering it on each attack, and I didn't think much about it until that was pointed out. And oh boy, it is really cool for that one. It's a great way of him sort of like doing a bunch of crowd control. So I think this is just an amazingly solid attack. He brings a new leadership to the Cabal. It is My Cabal is only for the strong. Once per turn, when a non-grunt allied character is rolling dice as part of an attack roll, it may treat one skull result as a critical result. If it does, after the attack is resolved, the attacking character loses 1 power. If it does not lose power, it suffers 1 damage instead. Reality Stone on a stick, my friends. I mean, it's not quite as good as Reality Stone. You can't do it for defense or just any sort of roll. But getting that in on your attacks can be extremely potent because you're adding that extra. Not only are you adding an extra success, but you're potentially getting an extra success from a die roll there as well. It's an extra chance to maybe hit those wild triggers. It's really good. Now, keep in mind that it does change the skull result. So if you have a trigger that relies on the skull result, you are going to lose it with that one. But generally speaking, this is a really solid leadership ability. We have Reshape the World, which is an active ability, 3 power. Choose a terrain feature size 3 or less within 3 and throw it medium. This is something we've seen a lot in the new core set. There's a lot of range 3 medium throws, which, I mean, that's excellent. That's a great thing to have. Whether or not it's oversaturating that particular market, I'm not entirely sure, but having more throws, always really good. We have Nothing is Beyond My Reach, an active power for 4. Choose this character or another character within 2 of it and place it within 3 of its current position. It can be used only once per turn. Again, it's basically Scalpel. It's a shorter range Scalpel for 4 power, but it is abilities to get your characters moving around the table, put them into position, and really sort of like control where people are on the board. Great ability. And then we have Power is Only for the One Who Rules. When this character spends power to make an attack action or use a superpower, it may spend power for the attack or superpower from an allied character within 3 of it. I think this is the secret sauce of Red Skull Master of the World. This makes him so power efficient. It means if he's close enough to his team and they have the power to do it, you're getting off his Reality Bows to Me. You're getting off his Reshapes the World, his Nothing is Beyond My Reach, whenever you really kind of need it. And it's awesome because it means like avoiding him and not putting power on Red Skull is not necessarily the answer to the problems, because he's going to be able to take power from his allies. I really like this ability. I think that's absolutely fantastic, and I love to see the mechanic. On the injured side, nothing changes. Everything is pretty much as it was on there, so nothing really to talk about. So yeah, that's his character card. He does come with, this doesn't necessarily like specific to this Red Skull, but there is Cosmic Obliteration, which comes with the new Earth's Mightiest core set. It's an unaffiliated active card for Johann Schmidt, so any of the Red Skulls can use this. Spend any amount of power to play this card, remove all special conditions from Johann Schmidt, then choose one non-dazed enemy character within 3 of Johann Schmidt. For each power spent to play this card, each chosen character gains one of the following special conditions: Hex, Root, or Incinerate. I mean, what's really to say about that? That's range 3. Like, that's some big conditions going on there. You can set up a really strong turn with Cosmic Obliteration on that one. And note that it does not require him to be the active character. It just has to be your active turn. So you can really set up a good turn. So that is Red Skull, Master of the World. So obviously, where does he fit in? Well, obviously, he likes his own affiliation quite well. I think in general, he can fit into any affiliation that is really good with power. I think he'd be a lot of fun in Original Steve, to be completely honest. Just make those costs a little bit lower on his superpowers, or even just giving him his own power to do a whole bunch of things as well. I think he is a great alternative to Red Skull. He probably edges out OG Red Skull a little bit from the original core box. He's just a little bit more potent, has a little bit more of a kit to play with on that one. But generally speaking, I like him. I think he's an excellent addition to the game, and I look forward to seeing what people do with him on the table. But that is Red Skull, Master of the World. Definitely sound off in the comments below, get involved in the conversation, and we will see you next time. Happy wargaming.